Hi guys, welcome back to this channel. I am Darian, and today we're going to be talking about some strategies to help you to be productive in this new year. Now, of course, I can give you some strategies, some tips, and all the advice that I can think of. But the most important thing that's going to allow you to have that productive year and reach those goals that you want to work towards is going to be what you put into it, the work that you're willing to put in to see the results that you want to achieve. So let's go ahead and jump into this video. Now, I know you probably have heard at some point in your life, if you're old enough, new year, new me. The thing about it though is I have heard so many people say this. I have even said this myself. And then I have found that in these new years, I feel as though I have not reached the specific goals that I had in mind for those years. I feel like maybe I've made some progress, but I felt like the progress I made could have been a lot more. I could have gotten further in what I was trying to accomplish. And once I look back at my life and look back at myself, I realized that yes, I was putting in some work, but was I putting in all the work that I could have been putting in to reach my goals? Honestly, no. Honestly, there are times where I would put in some work, but then, not believe in myself on a day or push things off. But it's when I had an awakening in those moments where I realized if I want to reach greater places and greater heights, I'm going to have to put in that work, honey. Okay. Not saying that I wasn't putting in work before, but I absolutely could have been putting in more work than I was. It's so wild to think that in less than 2 months, the new year will be here. I am currently in a place now where I don't feel like I have to necessarily wait for the new year to start on my goals, to start on accomplishing the things that I want to accomplish. But I do find it refreshing to have a consistent time period in your life where you take a moment to sit and kind of just take a look at the things that are happening in your life. Take a look at what progress you've made. Do you feel like you've been actually set back versus actually progressing? And then what are we going to do from now? So the new year is always that time that I love to just go ahead and get started on a fresh start. One of the things that I love to do around the new year is to kind of check in on my fitness and health and weight loss journey and goals. So for me, that is something that I absolutely love as the new year approaches. I feel like when the new year comes around, I have that extra motivation to throw into my goals as far as my fitness and motivation in that way. So here are some strategies that I have learned for my life that I want to share with you for your life so that hopefully you can actually see the new year, new you come to life for you. Okay, so the first strategy that I like to live by when it comes to preparing for the new year, or even just preparing for a new season, a new journey, or a new thing in life, that is to write out my goals. I feel like this is something that's common that a lot of people have in their minds to do when starting out a new goal, a new journey, even a new year. I have found it to be an effective practice in my life when I write down my goals and the things that I'm trying to accomplish, because it allows me to take what I have in my mind and put it in a place where I can see it again, where I can go back and revisit. One thing that I do love is I do have like my own little vision paper, kind of like how people do the vision boards, but I just have it on a a literal computer paper, and I've had mine for years. And even though I may not get everything that I have on there in that 1 year, I, for me, like to leave it in my closet because that's where I go and spend time to get get dressed, and then as I'm like glancing around, I have the visuals of what I want my life to look like right there. And I find that it's just inspirational for me. It's inspirational for me to see where I want to be. It's inspirational for me to see what I have already been able to accomplish and what I've already been blessed with in my life. And so now that I can go ahead and check those things off, I find that it's easy for me to continue to stay motivated and inspired by the other things that I have on there. Now, I don't want anyone to feel like because you go and put pictures on a piece of paper or anything like that, that's gonna make it just automatically happen in a certain time frame or in a certain year. I don't have it for that specific reason, and that's not the mindset I have for having it. It's just simply for me a reminder of where I want to be, where I want to go, and just helping me to kind of focus in on where I'm at now and how I'm progressing in those goals and the things that I want to achieve. Now, I personally am a list person. So each and every day, I like to put in my calendar the things that I want to accomplish for the day. So I actually will do this maybe like the night before or a couple of days before, or as things come up, just plug things into my calendar. If you're a digital person, I completely understand. It's easier for me to work with the digital avenue of keeping up with my goals in a calendar. But also, if you're somebody who just likes a physical calendar, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Whatever works for you, but whatever will help you to write down what you need to accomplish so that you can stay focused and get it done. I have absolutely tried to do things just kind of like keep it floating in my head, and I just have come to terms with the realization that I'm the type of person, yes, I can have the ideas in my head, but I just find that I work more efficiently when I write things down, when I have a good organization and process for what I want to accomplish and the goals that I want to see achieved. Okay, so let's go into the next strategy that I have that has been working for my life and that I hope you will allow it to work for your life. And that is to set up different things in your life that are going to help you to achieve your goals. So what I mean by that, I'll use this example. Let's say that your goal is to lose a certain amount of pounds or to tone up or become more fit, whatever your fitness goal may be. For me personally, as I'm trying to reach my goals, I set up things that are going to allow me to continue to stay consistent with working out, that are going to help me to continue to get the intake, the water that I need in, the things that are going to help me to stay in a certain calorie amount so that my body is not being filled with extra calories that it does not need. So, for one thing, if you are somebody who knows that if you want to work out, you just can't do the treadmill or you just can't go walking outside. Some people that may work for them. If that works for you, that's a good thing to set up maybe a schedule that you're going to walk outside however many times you want to do that a week. For another person, that may be joining an actual fitness place so that you have that money coming out your account and you know that that is going to be something that motivates you to keep showing up. Also, some people may like to work out in a class setting or where you have a group of people also working out with you. So I feel that that is a good thing because some people need that extra push. Some people need that extra motivation. Some people are more social than others. So being around others that are trying to achieve the same goals that you are can actually be beneficial. So if you already have these classes set up, you already have where you want to work out set up, that can be good in helping you to achieve your goals. If you are somebody who is working on building a business, make sure that you have the equipment that you need, that you're able to afford for you to efficiently be able to run your business. Do you need a printer? Do you need a laptop? Do you need filming equipment, whatever it is that you may need, make sure that all these things are already set up. It's going to be kind of hard to accomplish your goals if you don't have the things that you need that are going to help you to get to your goals. If you know that you are just not a person that has worked out in maybe 5 years, maybe 2 years, maybe 6 months, and you have not been feeling it, telling yourself that you're just gonna all of a sudden just get up and start working out, that may not actually go like that. So some people may actually need to join a gym. It's plenty of different types of gyms out here at different types of prices. So find what works for you and what is going to help you to get to where you are trying to get. Remember the goals that you are trying to achieve and how you are going to be able to reach them. Okay, if you know that you don't have any discipline in your life or very little discipline, set up things to where you can only have this if you've done the workout that you have said that you would do, or you can only do this if you have done this. Start to hold yourself accountable. If you don't hold yourself accountable, then it's going to be kind of hard to accomplish your goals. It's going to be kind of hard to see these things come to fruition in a new year as the year is going by, because you don't have anything keeping you in that certain line. You don't have anything keeping you from just willy-nilly living life again. But there are some things we have to be disciplined in life if we want to see certain results and certain things in our lives. Okay, so let's jump into the next strategy, and that is to make sure that your goals are realistic. I know that we want to accomplish certain things at certain times, but sometimes we may have goals that are extremely unrealistic and quite impossible, if we're being honest, to achieve in the time frame that we're trying to achieve them. It doesn't make sense to expect yourself to lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks. I mean, yes, I'm sure that there are some cases where that has happened, but on average, how often is that really happening? And is that really a healthy goal for you to achieve? Maybe a more realistic goal for a person could be to try to lose that in 6 months. That seems a little bit more realistic than trying to lose a large amount in such a short time frame. Also, when you're trying to do something that may require a little more of you in a short period of time, it can be stressful. The pressure being on you can make you feel like it's impossible to achieve this. So now you have extra stress. Now you're trying to make sure you meet these deadlines. And if you don't meet them, it can make you feel like you have failed at what you're trying to do. Again, I'm not saying that it's impossible for certain things to be done, but I'm saying just make sure that it's realistic and that it's truly going to be beneficial for you to reach your goals in whatever time frame that you're choosing. And even that your goals are realistic just in general, not even including the time. When it comes down to everyday life, I also feel that it's so important to make sure that your goals are realistic. I remember so many times where I would try to put so many things on my everyday to-do list because I just want to accomplish so much and get all these things done. But I find that by the time I'm like halfway through some of these things, I'm completely just tired from exerting so much on other things, and I have to reroute my list and reroute my calendar. But I find that once I've rerouted it and kind of spaced things out, I'm still okay. I'm still making good progress. It's just in my mind, I'm thinking that I need to accomplish 50 things when 20 things that I've accomplished for the day had been enough. So now I like to make sure that the goals that I have are reasonable even in each day. Yes, it's good to make sure it's reasonable over whatever big time frame that you have given yourself to accomplish whatever, but it also makes sense to make sure that even in the short-term periods, in the each and every day, that you're able to accomplish what you need to accomplish without feeling overwhelmed and without feeling like so much is thrown on you. I find that it is easier to accomplish goals when I'm not stressed out, when I don't feel like I have so much crunch time that I'm trying to keep up with. I literally get up. I'm able to have my slow mornings when I want my slow mornings, but I'm still making progress. I'm still seeing progress in my life, but I'm not having to overload myself to see progress. I know that there might be some people that will watch this video that may feel like I'm so far from my goals. I'm so far from my dreams. I'm so far from where I want to be, but continue to remember that life truly is a journey, and racing through life can cause you to actually miss out on so much, miss out on just the simple things, the things that really matter. So even though you have your goals, understand that it is a process and it is a journey, and enjoy the process. I get it. Going through the processes of life is not always fun. We want to see what we want to see. We want to have what we want to have when we want to have it. But I'm just here to encourage you that just because it may be taking a little longer than you may have wanted to, does not mean that you will not reach your goals. Stay focused, stay in your lane, and just make sure that you're doing what you need to do to see these goals come to pass. I also have found in life that sometimes in life, things are just going to happen at a certain time. There's someone in a certain industry that I've seen, they have been working, I believe it was like 15 years for their moment. And it took 15 years. But if they would have known that it would have taken 15 years, would they have still put in that work to get to where they're going? Obviously, they clearly didn't know that it was going to take 15 years for them to reach that high point, for them to reach that place where they were going to go. But all those years that they were working on other things and training for this big moment mattered. All those years probably, I'm sure, allowed them to not connect themselves with whatever deals or whatever things that would have held them back. It allowed them to learn an industry or a system from the back end, so that now they're at this big place, they're not trying to just learn to navigate without any training or having seen what goes on behind the scenes. So there is a blessing a lot of times in those times where we feel like we're delayed, or we feel like we are not as far along as we would like to be. But just make sure that you're putting in that work even in those times. Consistency, I find, is so key for this life. And if you don't have consistency, it's gonna be hard to carry out something in the long run, because you're so quick to throw it away or give up on it when it seems like this is too hard, this is too much. Okay, so maybe a lesson in life for you is just to learn to stick it out. It's just to learn to continue to be consistent as things are working for you, as things are being worked out on the back end. Okay, so let's move on to the next strategy, and that is you need to know the people that you need to have in whatever season that you are in. Now, of course, this video I'm structuring and centering pretty much around the new year, but also just in new seasons and new times. You need to know which people are meant to be in your life, which people are not meant to be in your life anymore. I believe that who we have in our lives are so important. And I don't care how you know a person, whether it's family, whether it's friend, whether it's from work, whatever dynamic that you have met people, you have to know who is for you, who is not for you. You have to know who is helping you to get to the next level, who is helping you to reach and achieve your goals. Not saying that that is their sole priority to help you to get to where you're going, but just something as simple as knowing that they're there for you, knowing that they're not there trying to hold you back or slow you down. It is true that a lot of times we can be distracted by the people that we have around us, and sometimes it's not even intentional. Sometimes we have just gotten so used to having certain people around us that when it's time to pivot and shift, it's like, well, I've known them for this long, I've been around for this long, it may not make sense yet to really shift things and move on. But when you know and you notice that things have shifted and it's time for you to go to that next level, and you realize that in order for you to go to that next level, you're going to have to drop some people from your life. It's no longer serving you to be connected to certain people anymore. You have to understand that you just gotta do what you got to do. And when you're not ready to let go and you hold on to things, it can cause further things to happen later down the line, or it can cause you to actually be delayed in your own goals. I think back to my life, and a lot of the times when it was time for me to go to that next level, I went through betrayals right before because I was holding on to people that were no longer meant to be in my life. You can even cause sabotage in your life by having the wrong people connected to you. And it's not necessarily that you are trying to sabotage your life or have certain things happen to you, but if their intent is not good for you and you're working on something good and you're working on accomplishing good things and they don't have the right heart towards you, they may not even realize it, but their actions can end up, whatever they're feeling on the inside can end up causing them to sabotage and affect where you are trying to go. So be wise with your connections and be wise with who you have in your life, specifically if you are working on certain goals. Even if you don't feel that it's necessary to cut people out of your life or cut certain people out of your life, maybe you just need to keep quiet. Maybe it's just time to stop sharing so much and just do what you need to do. Everybody does not need to know everything that you're working on, every step that you have going on. And something that I've found is don't always expect friends and family and the people closest to you to support your endeavors or the thing that you're working on. A lot of times the people that we have known the longest are that we consider to be our blood. We think that they're going to support or help us on the journey of building up whatever it is. And oftentimes I have found, not even just in my life, but just hearing around, that's usually not the case. People are people, and it's okay. You just have to know who you need to share what with and who not to share what with. If you have somebody in your life and you know you're trying to lose, let's say 20 pounds, that person does not feel good about themselves. That person does not have drive to lose the pounds that they want to lose. But you're going full force, you're eating what you need to eat, you're working out. All of a sudden, that person wants to hang out all the time. Y'all are going to eat meals that you know you probably should not be eating if you want to see the results that you're looking for. A couple of months down the line, you realize that your whole journey of trying to lose these 20 pounds has been sabotaged because the wrong people have been in your life influencing you and taking you off course. But if you have the right boundaries up and you're not sharing maybe everything that you're doing as far as your weight loss journey, maybe a person calls and say, let's go here to eat, let's go get brunch here. Maybe you don't want to be as direct with saying that you're on a fitness journey or whatever. So when that person calls and say, hey, let's go to this restaurant and get brunch, you can just say, let's go do this activity because I just ate, or I already ate my lunch, or whatever it is. Learn how to navigate the connections around you so that you're able to still have that discipline and reach the goals that you want to see. Many times I have embarked on journeys to accomplish different things, and I realized that there have been some seasons where the wrong people were planted in my life to slow me down, to stop me, although they couldn't stop me, okay? I'm still going full force in my life with the things that I want to accomplish. But honestly, if I look back, if those people didn't get as far as they got in my life, if I didn't allow them in as deeply as I allowed them into my life, I could have accomplished more. Or I maybe wouldn't have had to feel like I had to start over again or redo things to work out for me, or trying to re-embark on something that I could have been further along in if I had never let that door be open. Okay, let's get into the next thing. This kind of ties in a little bit to what I've already talked about, and that is to visualize where you want to be in the next 6 months. So I talked about how I have like my vision board paper, and it just inspires me to continue to remember and think about the things that I want in my life and the things that I've already accomplished and been blessed with in my life. Now, this more so I'm talking about just keep in the forefront of where you want to be in the next 6 months to year. Okay, we're talking about a new year, new me. So whenever I start a new year, or even before I start a new year, even like now, like randomly today, I may think where I want to be in 6 months, where I want to be by my birthday, where I want to be by whatever season or whatever big things I have in my life. I like to visualize myself in a matter of months. I was recently looking at myself and thinking back to 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I did not feel that I was at my best as far as when it came to my body and what I was putting in my body and how much I was intaking. And now where I'm at today, even though it has been a more slower process, but I've been consistent, I finally, the other day, was looking at myself and was like, oh yes, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing the results of the work that I'm putting in. So it all started from me honestly seeing myself 6 months ago, or it may have been even more time, but seeing myself at that point and was like, this is not where I want to be. And in between that timing, I have put in that work to get closer to my goals. So now that I'm finally here, now that I finally can see the changes in my body at this point, I know that moving forward, it's just a matter of time before I start to see more results. So I'm at a place where I have seen it work for me here. So I know that moving forward, it's going to continue to work for me as I stay consistent. But my point is that sometimes we need that consistent mental picture in our mind to remind us of what we are working towards, to remind us of why we are doing what we are doing. Because if we don't have that, it could be easy to fall off or feel like it's never gonna happen. Or when life starts to be life, maybe you had a bad day, maybe you ate too much, maybe you didn't feel like doing no work, and so you feel like you're set back for the week. When life starts to happen or things starts to happen in your life and you feel like you are not getting to where you need to be, I feel that having that mental picture helps. I feel like, at least for my life, having that consistent mental picture throughout the day, each and every day, I usually have a period where I'll think about my life, where I'm at now and where I want to be. Not to obsess over it, but just thinking about the goals that I want to achieve and where I'm trying to be. So that may be healthy for some people. If you feel like it's going to be a problem with obsessing over your goals and feeling like it's going to make you down, maybe don't mentally try to do that exercise. But for me, it's just sometimes I'll just think about my goals whenever I'm feeling down, think about why I'm doing what I'm doing, and it lifts me up and sometimes just gives me that motivation that I need, that inspiration that I need. Also, something that helps me, I'm actually thinking about it now as I'm talking, is if I have a certain goal or I'm trying to go somewhere, or I know that I want to be at a certain place next year or at this point in my life, I will go watch videos that correlate with that. So for instance, I love seeing people show their before and after of their weight loss transformation. Or if you want to move to a new place, maybe a new city or something, you can watch videos on that city, on the nice places that you can stay in that city. Or if you want to learn how to start a certain business, watch videos of people who are doing that business, are working on that business. Let's say you want to make candles or something like that. Maybe you could watch somebody who does videos on how they make candles, on how they got started, their everyday life, and how it is for them working. Not to say that your journey will be exactly like that, because you want your journey to still be your journey, but maybe it'll inspire you a little bit on continuing to go. I feel that it is inspirational to see that somebody has done something that you are trying to do. Oftentimes, it may feel like you're the only person trying to accomplish your goals, or you're the only person that may be in that part of the journey in accomplishing a specific goal, but usually other people are in that same boat. You may not be around them, or you may not be in close proximity to them, but when you think about the full scale of the world and how many people are actually on this earth, I'm sure that there is somebody else that you can identify with, or that may be on a similar journey. It may not be the exact journey, but they may have similarities in their journey that you can pull from and learn from. Don't always go looking for your inner circle or the people that are closest to you to be able to connect with when it comes to certain things in your life and certain journeys that you may have that are strictly for your life. Everybody may not understand what you are doing in your process and where your life is supposed to go. If they're not meant to accomplish those things, or if they don't have those goals in their heart to do, they may not be able to identify it. They're probably going to be looking at you like, so you have to understand that and not get offended by that, because everyone is not meant to have your journey. Your journey is meant to be uniquely the way it's supposed to be for you. Okay, so the next thing, I feel like this is pretty straightforward. Do the things that will help you to get to where you're trying to get as far as your goals. In this new year, it is good to focus in on things that are directly correlated to what you're trying to accomplish. If a candle business is what you're trying to accomplish, maybe you can start looking into wicks, start looking into containers, start looking into the process of making candles. Maybe you can then go from there after the first month or two, go into actually buying the supplies and actually putting it to work. Then from there, you can try to sell around town and see who's willing to buy your candles, create a website. So actively be working on goals that are going to help you to reach what you're trying to do. If fitness is a goal, then obviously working out is beneficial for the body. And then also maybe finding a thing that will help you to stay in whatever way that you like to eat and maintain whatever diet or lifestyle when it comes to eating that works for you. For instance, I personally like calorie counting because I feel like it's less restrictive as far as the type of foods that I can eat, but it helps me with moderation and restricting the amount that I'm eating. So that has worked for my life for years. I want to say since high school, I have been counting calories, and it has always worked for me. It has always helped me to reach my goals, and it's something that works for my lifestyle. That may not work for another person's lifestyle. Another person may want to count carbs. Another person may want to try different diets. Another person, vegetarian, vegan, whatever works for you. Find what works for you and work towards those things that are helping you to reach your goals. Zone in and don't give in to the distractions. Once I got out of those periods of distractions and I was in my own space and able to think about what I want to accomplish and get those ideas and go forth with it, it's like things were different. It's like things changed for me because I was able to zone in. And so in this new year, even in this new year for me, I have my own specific goals and the things I'm trying to accomplish, as I believe you do too, if you're still watching this video, or even if you just clicked on this video. So make sure that you just zone in and get rid of those distractions and go forward. The only way I believe that you're going to see progress long term is if you continue to be consistent. Yes, you may see some progress quickly in some extreme cases, but I have found that consistency in life goes a long way. You just have to be patient enough in the consistency to see the results. So if you're watching this, I assume that you watch because you are ready to see some changes in this new year, or even if it's not the new year, maybe it's mid-year as you're watching this, or even the end of the year. What I want to encourage you and motivate and inspire you with is to just keep going. Just start on your goals and keep going and keep pressing until you get to where you want. Or even maybe just sit down and revisit your goals. See where you can change things to maximize your success. Okay, I hope that we can all say new year, new me, and truly see the fruit of the new versions of ourselves that we are hoping to see in this new year. I purposely wanted to put this out a little bit earlier than the actual new year because one, the new year will be here in like 2 months as I am filming this video, or really less than 2 months. Also, you can start at any point, but for me personally, I like having those markers in life to help me to know when to start over or keep going or revisit my goals. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to watch any other videos on this channel that interest you. Bye.